Hey everybody, Keenan Phillips here, and today we're going to talk about our new Riptide X series shafts. So two products I'm super excited about, I've been excited about for a while. They've been on tour since about February for us. Have been some of the hottest shafts on tour that we've had in recent history. And so guys, we have Riptide LX, Riptide MX, two models, one black, one red. Let's get into it. So we have two models here. We have our EvenFlow Riptide LX, which is going to be the black version with the red writing, so it's going to be a stiffer tip, stiffer design. And then we have Riptide MX here, which is going to be our mid-launching product, a little softer tip, softer profile. But the really cool thing about these Riptide shafts for us is how low the torque is. Now I know torque is always a big topic for discussion, and we've done a TT school video on torque, so check that out if you haven't. But torque is really what we use nowadays as a design element when designing a new graphite shaft. So materials are so good, manufacturing processes are so good now, that we can really kind of dial in that torque to really dial in feel. So with that torque being so low in these shafts, obviously, you're thinking, well, it's going to feel like a board. Well, that's why we're considering these Riptide X series shafts bin profile optimized. So we designed the profiles in mind to have super low torque so it won't feel too boardy. So MX, for example, is going to be pretty soft actually compared to most of our stuff. In the TX Flex, it's about a flex and a half softer from a CPM standpoint than normal, but because that torque is so low, it's the lowest torque shaft in our entire line. It almost has to have a profile like that. So it really lets us accentuate that profile, really lets us dial in that mid-launch profile, that softer profile we need without feeling overly whippy. So you'll see in the 60 gram TX part for Riptide MX, you're gonna have 2.3 degrees of torque, which is the lowest torque number in our entire line. And then on the LX side, you'll have 2.6 degrees of torque, and that's gonna be our second lowest. And like I said, with those two shafts, they're bin profile optimized. So that's why we can really lower that torque so much. And what I mean by that is they're not gonna feel overly harsh on you considering how low that torque is. So if we try to put that torque number on a very stout profile, like hazardous smoke green, so on our Hulk shaft, we wouldn't be able to. It'd feel like a board to everybody, it'd feel like a pole because of how stout that profile is. So if you look at that shaft, that has 3.0 degrees of torque because of how stiff the profile is. And so if we're looking at the specs real quick for these products, let's start with EvenFlow Riptide MX. So we have 60 gram parts that range all the way from a 5.5 regular flex up to a TX flex, 70 gram parts that also range from a 5.5 regular flex up to a TX flex, and then 80 gram parts in a 6.5 extra stiff flex and a TX flex as well. And then for Riptide LX, you're also gonna see a 60 gram, 70 gram, and 80 gram weight range model with the same flex offerings as MX. So the big difference there is gonna be those weight specs, just the specifications changing a little bit throughout, and then also that trajectory, once again, being a lower trajectory. So like I said, really excited about these two shafts, LX, MX, our Riptide X series right here. That Riptide MX shaft has been great for us on tour. It's one I think you guys are really going to be drawn to, really unique from an idea standpoint, a little softer profile so you get that help getting the ball in the air, but offset with that ultra low torque for really stable feel throughout the swing and through impact. And then guys, don't think you swing it too fast to play that shaft. The bottom 20 inches have some 40-ton carbon fiber mixed in to help control that launch and still hit the window we're looking for. And then on the LX side of things, that's going to be our stiffer version, like I said, of the overall profile. Extra stiff tip section, so we mix in 3 high mod, high strength carbon fiber plies in that tip section to really kind of help flatten that ball flight out and control that launch and spin. So two unique products. I think you guys are going to like them. I've enjoyed mine a lot. That MX is great in a 3-wood, LX is great in a driver. Give them a try at your local True Temper Performance Fitting Centers.